Today, our verse is Psalm 63, verse 1. O God, you are my God. Earnestly I seek you. My soul thirsts for you. My flesh faints for you, as in a dry and weary land where there is no water. This psalm is attributed to David when he was in the wilderness of Judah. But like many psalms, we are never sure of their exact dates and authorship. Some think this psalm refers to when David escaped from his son Absalom. Some of the images in the psalm may refer to the wandering people of God in the desert, in the wilderness. For instance, glory in verse 3 may refer to the glory cloud the people of Israel experienced in their exodus. And then the merciful kindness in verse 4, the merciful kindness of God, which was with them through their journey in the wilderness. The psalmist is also confident that God who fed his people in the wilderness will also satisfy them in verse 6. In the same way, the enemies of Israel were brought down by the power of their own sword in verse 11. So the enemies of the psalmist will be brought low in verse 10. What is important to us is the message expressed by the psalmist. It is a classical psalm of confidence expressing faith in God. Elohim Eli Atah, O God, you are my God, is an expression that goes back to the confession of Israel in the one God, as we see in the Shema Yisrael. The Lord is our God, the Lord is one. Deuteronomy chapter 6, verse 4. The psalmist expresses this strong confidence in the oneness of God. There is no other God save the God of Israel, who is his God. And for that reason, he seeks God. That is, to earnestly look for him, to search for him, and to long for him. His soul thirsts for God. The soul, nephesh in Hebrew, means that which breathes, the breathing substance or being. Nephesh refers to the soul, the living being, life, self, person, desire, appetite, emotion, and passion. Therefore, the psalmist says, all his being, his whole life, thirsts for God. His flesh, basar in Hebrew, faints for God. That is, his flesh is exhausted for the sake of God. The flesh, basar in Hebrew, could also refer generally to the flesh of both human beings and animals, like we see in Genesis chapter 2, 21 to 23, or the flesh of the body itself, like we see in Exodus 30 verse 32, or the human genital organs, like we see in Leviticus chapter 15 verse 2. The flesh was also sometimes taken in the context to refer to the whole body, or generally to the living creature. However, the flesh is often combined with the soul or heart to express the whole person, like we see in this psalm. Therefore, his whole body is exhausted with longing and yearning for God. My soul thirsts for you in a dry and weary land where there is no water, re-echoes the wilderness experience of the people of Israel. In the wilderness, God gave the people water miraculously through the hand of Moses. Although the psalmist is searching for God like someone in the wilderness, God will quench his thirst as he did to the people of Israel in the wilderness. A few questions for us today. Where should we be seeking God? Is my life yearning always to be with the Lord? Am I seeking only after material things and pleasures of life? How often am I fired with spending time with the Lord, listening to his word and drinking from that fountain of love and wisdom? You may ask me how to go about this, and the answer is simple. To try and spend a few minutes in quiet prayer each day, to listen to the Lord and to drink from that fountain of love and wisdom. Lord, give me that deep longing for you to transform my inner person into that beautiful person you want me to be in this world. Amen. God bless you. Have a pleasant day.